Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond, broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
We're back at you with Gloves Off. I'm here with Eddie Ramirez, and one of the great boxers here in Laredo, and we're going to touch base on boxing, training, fighting, just the whole surroundings of what I call the point of truth, you know, the sweet science, you know, because how you doing?
Boxing, man, I love the sport. It's a lot of discipline. It's a lot of it's hard. the punches hurt. Was it pro, amateur? It's the same thing. This is that when you hit pro, it's harder. It's a lot harder. The training, exercises, the weights, and the ounces of the gloves go down. 8 ounces. So,
you know, I've seen you come up. I've seen you from when you started. When your aunt came in here and said, "Hey, we all have to buy tickets to go see my nephew." Yeah. And we all went, and it was a great event. And here's the question: how did you start boxing? You know, because not everybody wants to box. Everybody wants to do it. Everybody hits the bag, but very few people step in the ring. Very few people step in the gym. Few step in the ring, and fewer go in and stay there. Yeah. You know,
the majority sometimes it all depends on the person. You know, I had a lot of. As a kid, I grew up always fighting. So I had to put that good fight into something very positive, which is boxing. And one of my mother's friends was always telling my mother, he's got hands of a boxer, es un peleador, es un boxeador. Llévalo. And right around the corner from where I live was Gato's gym.
Sure.
And I went over there, and the rest is history. After I went to San Antonio for a while, and I went over there to the Westside Boxing Gym. And I was only 15, and I had about 10 amateur fights, 9 wins. The last one I left San Antonio, I lost. Then I came over here, and I went to Felipe Garcia Gato, and I only got 2 amateur fights with him. So, I mean, I started off in 2006 with him. 2007 we started fighting. And we went everywhere: Corpus, the Valley, San Antonio, Dallas. And I only got 1 fight at the beginning. And I went everywhere else. We went about 20 places. I never got a fight. Nobody wants to fight me because of the fight that I fought in Dallas, in Austin. I fought a guy within Austin. He was from Amwolfs, and I beat him. I beat him hard, and after that, nobody wanted to fight me. They saw what I did to them, so they didn't want to fight me. So we went everywhere. Nobody wanted to fight. Finally, I got a fight in Corpus Christi at the Port Aransas, and that was the last fight. I lost, but I mean, I know I did good. I remember that day, 2008, I should go a scared, pero vamos a pelear pro. Pero really, mira, que sirve comprar cosas o mantenerte con un trofeo. ¿Sabes qué? Ahora sí, vamos a ganar fe. Just go for it, let's go. And I was excited. 2008, it was under Hector Ferrero's, the Hurricane, his card, April, I think it was the 18th or 15th, it was the 18th. And I was on pro debut against Jesse Santibáñez. You know, so I went through a lot growing up. And I needed to get my anger out because, you know, I grew up rough.
You know, stepping up into the ring. And I did it, and we all did it. Mm-hmm. People say, you didn't have fear. Yeah, but we use that fear and we turn it into positive energy. We turn it into what's going to happen right now. You know, we're going to have a nice little walk with destiny, and we're going to see what happens, you know. Yeah. And we have to be positive in all aspects of it. And I used to see you all, you know, train, and you know, I grew up similar in boxing, and took folks up there. And there's a lot of people look at boxers, and they kind of say, no, they're just ruffians and blah, blah, blah. No, we're not. It teaches that person a lot.
Yeah, discipline, confidence, a lot of that stuff.
And what I tell people is, I'd rather have a boxer in my work stable than somebody else. And they say, why? because they're dependable, especially ones that've been in the ring.
Yeah.
They're dependable. They give you your word. They're going to be there.
So, right? We know what it is to be hit. You know, right here, here, all that. We know what it is here. You know, and it hurts.
But tell me this: how did you feel the first time you went up in the pro ring?
Nervous, because everyone said, "No, this guy was he went to the Olympics, he went to Golden Gloves, Nationals, stuff like that. I hadn't done that. I did all nothing but smoker fights. So I mean, me only having 12 amateur fights compared to a guy that had like 40-some amateur fights. He had more experience, but I wasn't afraid. I said, "No, the first punch he hit, we'll see who hits harder." And the first punch he hit pretty hard. I was like, "Oh, he hits hard. My turn." I came back. He knocked me down, I think, in the first round. I got back up and I shook it off and went, "Oh, okay, I'm next." Second round came out. I knocked him down. And he didn't get up for a while. But my mistake was that I went to his corner and I heard them trash talking whatever. So I started doing them trash talk back. The referee stopped the time. It was time. He was already in counter mine. So you know what? Go back over there. So I gave him a little bit of time to recuperate. So that one, I went back to my corner and my trainer said, "Hey, you got him. You know, dale." And when I went back to my corner the third round, I remember the feeling. I was exhausted. I was tired because I didn't know how I thought it was just an amateur fight, like sparring. No, this was harder. This was faster. The time, the breathing, the adrenaline. I mean, I was in the ring and I could picture him telling me, "Give us a room. Got it. Don't cut top. Almost. We need 2 more rounds. Let's do this. Yeah, you're here. You're already here. You're in the ring. Let's do it." No, I went out there. I mean, it's adrenaline, but you get nerves and you get the excitement, and you hear the crowd after the whole fight. It was a draw, but I mean, to hear that was like something wow. I made something of myself. And here I am in the big stage. You know, it's something big for me. It's the Civic Center. To me, it was big. You know, I'm here making a name for myself. This is my last name, and to see that, I was like, wow, man, I'm here. I can't wait for the next fight. Next fight comes, second fight, rematch with the same guy, and that time was no contest because I cut him because he didn't want to fight. But I mean, I was like, okay, building my way up. Yeah, I see this. We start building my way up, and boom, when we hit the arenas, like, you know, the Energy Arena, Laredo, then you start going out of town. And you start fighting out of town in big arenas, like, you know, Corpus Christi. And start moving up. You start seeing bigger names in the boxing. It's a total different feeling. I mean, it's exciting. I love it. You know, when they say you like to fight, no, I don't like to fight. I love to fight. I love it.
You're absolutely correct. You know, people say, "Why do you do this?" Because you love it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my life.
Yeah.
And this science has taught so much.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
That sweet science has taught me so much, and not only that, you know, you see the energy with the kids that you teach or the others that you're teaching. You see them, you see their smiles, and you see them understanding, and it's better. You know, maybe not everybody's going to go in the ring.
Yeah.
But I tell you one thing, everybody's going to change the way they think because of being in here, and that's what happens with boxing. What was your most memorable fight?
My memorable fight was against Arthur Trevino up in Dallas-Fort Worth for Golden Boy. And the first fight that I fought him was in Corpus Christi at the American Bank Center, and it was for top rank. And I beat him with 2 minutes, 34 seconds in the first round by knockout. So he asked for the rematch. Okay, let's do it. This time he came out in his hometown, Dallas-Fort Worth, and for Golden Boy, and we did it. And this time I beat him again. Came out televised and everything, and I beat him. I didn't beat him. I beat him up. I beat him up because I had a lot of proof with me. He said it was a fluke. So I went out there and proved that it wasn't a fluke. It was just this. You know, it wasn't just because I did this. No, because I wanted it. I wanted so bad that, you know, this is Golden Boy for the La Jolla. And I beat him. That was the most memorable fight. That one, and the second fight was in California. The most violent fight that I've ever been through, and the most painful one. A lot of blood, a lot of it was a concussion fight too. I mean, it was a fumbled fight, but I mean, the guy beat me fair and square, and I gave him props against Alejandro Luna. Mandy was there as well. My wife, she was there with me, and my trainer. That could have been my last fight. Could have, but I proved people. I took a break, for about a year, and then I came back. But those two fights were the most memorable fights I've ever had. Arthur Trevino from Fort Worth, Alejandro Luna from California, or Ontario, California. So those are two most violent fights I've ever had. And I miss it so much, man. I miss it.
But there's a time that we come out and we say we stop.
Yeah.
And and it's hard to realize, when you just can't go back in the ring, and it takes a lot out of you when you decide not to.
Yeah.
But only because you decided not for you won, that doesn't mean that you're gonna stop being involved with it.
No.
Okay.
No.
And that's a difference, back in a little bit about me. Back in '94, I was third in the world super middleweight division, so on. And I had an accident. I blew my hand. I have 11 reconstructive surgeries, And what happened was that one surgery, I went back in there, and the doctor tells me, your hand's not going to be around anymore. So I had to literally say, here's hang up the gloves, my gloves in the ring. And that went into when they removed the tendon from my calf and they placed it in my hand. And you can see the scars,
Yeah, I see.
And what happens is that drive going back, because I was teaching that night in Dallas, and I was driving from Plano to Irving. I was in the traffic, and I was just thinking, what do we do? What's next? I realized one thing through all the surgeries I was going to, that people go into the gym to train because somebody's going to become a champion. And when I went back over there and I told several of them, I'm not going to fight anymore. So in the story, the membership dropped. And the next month, whoop, and that's the way it is. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm just going to be myself, and those that come in, I'm going to train them just being myself. And that's what I've been doing since 95, 96, 95 was when they told me. So I look at everybody and I said, you guys have that energy. You and your wife, Mandy, and Mandy's another great boxer. You're in Laredo, folks. And grasp that, use that energy. Unless you one day want to go back in,
No, we do. After, not many people, a lot of people started know what I'm going through. I was diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer back in October last year, and I had to take a break. I took down and I stepped down from the ring, and it's painful. But that still doesn't stop me from going up there and, teaching the knowledge of boxing, with the wisdom. And you see other fighters, younger youth of boxing coming up, and you're like, you gotta spread the word, spread what you know, the experience. Yeah, I'm a fighter of 32 professional fights. My wife, 31. We always have a competition, see who has more fights than the other person. And she caught up. Yeah. Yesterday, like I said, she gave her knowledge of boxing to a younger fighter coming up, and it's exciting to see. To me, it's exciting to see what I really went through, to see what she's going through.
Sure.
And it's amazing. That right there showed me wow, she really does love this sport, because she does, and I love the sport. And it feels great to feel that you show your style of boxing out there and you show them what you know. And the younger they are trying to copy you, they look up to you. It's a great feeling. You're a role model. You're an example to the younger kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my favorite fighter. Oh yeah, that's my favorite fighter. I like him when he fights. They go on and watch you spar, and when they watch you spar, it's like watching a fight. They're sitting down, and then that's exciting. It's a good feeling to see kids look up to you. So you gotta set us an example. Be a positive role model to the kids and give them school, your education, whatever you want to be in life, be it. Whatever you want to be. Something positive, be it cop, teacher, judge, anything. Anything that has something positive to do. If you want to be a boxer, boxing's not forever. That's why we tell them, no way, boxing's not for everybody. Punches do hurt. There comes a time when you have to retire. But you have to have your education. That's why you start investing your money into certain things. So we teach them a lot. And it's a great thing. I mean, take it to the heart. Sort of wisdom.
No, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. But let me tell you what boxing teaches a person being in the gym. And not every other gym. Some gyms do it, but the vast majority do. It's going to teach you discipline to be there on time to train.
Yeah.
Discipline for you to understand when your coach tells you do it again or corrects you that you're not doing this or yells at you that you're doing it wrong, that you're going to change and adapt and try to better yourself. And that's when you start separating people, because once that first yell comes across and you're in the ring and you did something wrong, and some people just say, "Oh, I'm not going to be yelled at," and leave, and well, that's fine. Then you see them in the workforce. You see them in society. Because believe me, if you go into a kitchen or police or in a hospital, if you think you're not going to get yelled at, go into one of those surgery rooms, see if they're not going to yell at you, or go inside a kitchen, see if they're not going to yell at you, or go inside, the streets with a police officer, see if they're not going to yell at you. So you have to train them with care. Yeah. And I think that's what coaches do. They care about the person up there. They're not yelling at you to demean you. No. They're yelling at you so they build you up.
Yeah. Said you have a lot of confidence in the world. Once you hit the world, the real world is up there. You hit the real world, you have to have a lot of confidence. You have charisma. Be very confident with your smile, the way you are as a person, the way you express yourself to some people. I like the way he is, You can get a job anywhere you want because of their confidence, Not because you know how to fight. I don't know how to fight. It's not a confidence. That's too much confidence for that. But we want you to go in as a human being, as a bright person, and go through a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So,
absolutely. And we're running out of time, but it's always best to talk to folks that have been in there.
Yeah.
That moment of truth.
Yeah.
The testing ground.
Yeah, we know what it is to be up there. We know we've been up there, we have the experience.
And that testing ground. And it separates men from the boys,
Yeah.
and now you see women,
Yeah. My wife.
Back then it was hard in the 90s, we had women in Dallas, and you'll take them to go box someplace, and you see the record of the other person. If she had 3, that meant that she probably was training for about 2 years because of getting matched up in the smoker. You know what I mean? But if you get a girl back then that had 10 or was open, I mean, she had been in a lot. She has a lot of experience. Now it's more common ground. Now you see a lot more girls in the ring all over the place. But back then, far in between.
Yeah. This year, this decade of boxing, people have seen women, and Mandy made something of herself here.
Sure.
She's the only woman here to make it big. She's the daughter of Laredo.
Yes.
And then me being with her, it was like, the pit bull, la chaparra, la reina de Laredo. So, we made our names, we made it big, and she's forever remembered as the greatest fighter in her decade, and me also.
And
so we're hoping, God willing, I beat this, because I really want to beat it. I want to give one more fight, but to say goodbye. Her as well. She surprised me. She goes, "I want to do one more fight." Really? Yeah. Let's do it. She goes, "Yeah. First worry about your fight, then we'll go for my fight, then we'll go for your fight." So we want to make a comeback, but just to say goodbye the right way. So that's what we're looking for. And I'm looking forward to fighting somebody here in Laredo. I don't want to mention who, but it's because it's not personal. It's not. I want to fight the best out there. And with my experience and that person's experience, the younger youth, it's going to be a great fight. Mandy wants to say farewell as well. So we want to talk to Fito and maybe get a little fight in there. Try to sneak in his ass game. We want to give a goodbye fight. So we can say goodbye to sport and pass on the knowledge of boxing that we know to the future kids, because we know a lot. And we're looking forward to working with them now. So we'll see.
We'll be happy. First of all, let's beat that fight.
Yeah, this fight's gonna. I'm getting there. One day at a time. And yesterday I got to spar with my wife, and I'm not supposed to, but she I went up there. It was exciting, you know, to see her back in action, hitting me, you know, like the way we used to back in the day. I mean, we went at it hard, and I lost, so I have to wash the dishes, I gotta wash the clothes, you know, so yeah, all that stuff. So.
Well, it's always a pleasure, Eddie, and we'll make it through. And folks out there, if you love the talk, because this was a great talk and great lessons of life, hit the like button, subscribe. You'll get some more. We'll be talking more to Eddie and Mandy in the near future.
Yeah,
and we'll, you know, because this is always good for our community, and especially what we're going through right now. Until next time, peace.
Today, in America, more than 5.5 million men, women, and children train in a martial art regularly. Buitron Academy has been serving Laredo for over 30 years now. Our adult classes are geared for producing the best in you, teaching you street-ready techniques. With the arts of Savate and Kinpo, you'll learn the traditions of these sciences of combat, as passed down professor to student.
Hello everybody. My name is Senior Grandmaster Alfredo Bandalan, owner of BDP, Bandalan the Siparis. I'd like to say a few words on Grandmaster Buitron. He's a man of great integrity, a man of great knowledge of martial art. He's a master of Savate and master of Eskrima. He's a man that can help you to become what you want to be. He's a man that teaches people how to be somebody in life, how to work the world, how to be happy in this world. He's a man that I can say holds many integrity as well as in martial art. But I'd like to say this man has a radio station, does hunting all over the world, and he works with all kind of people, all walks of life. All I want to say, that Buitron is a man that can help people to be somebody in life. I'd like to say aloha, thank you.
I am Grandmaster Michael Duran of Original Hironis Criminal Federation here in Vallejo, California. Professor Paul Buitron is an accomplished martial artist who has developed an understanding that as a caretaker in our martial arts, it is his responsibility to keep the art alive and in depth. He acknowledged that it is the students that give the art life. I hold his friendship and his continuing accomplishments in the art in the most highest regard. Thank you.
Come train at the best kept secret of Laredo. Give us a call for your free evaluation at 956-401-4868 or check out our website at savate.biz. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook.